ladder safety is an everyday concern for those who maintain some of Louisville's most beloved landmarks, from the George Rogers Clark Monument to Churchill Downs, to Hillerich and Bradsby's Louisville Slugger, to the Belle of Louisville. Not to mention our favorite landmark, Louisville Ladder. Chances are you will be using a ladder or scaffolding product at your home or workplace in the near future. The Climb Academy was created to offer you the very best in ladder safety training and awareness. Since 1946, Louisville Ladder has been a leader in supplying high-quality climbing products and promoting ladder safety to consumers and the business world as well. Now, here are some names you probably recognize: Louisville, Davidson, Cuprum, and Ladder Pro. All are quality brand names manufactured by Louisville Ladder. Louisville Ladder products are designed to meet or exceed the rigid safety requirements of ANSI, OSHA, and the CSA. In fact, we are so committed to safety that our engineers work closely with ANSI to develop ladder industry safety codes. This is an ongoing program that has become a top priority. We put a lot of time and effort into manufacturing high-quality ladders, but in the long run, only you can make ladders safe. Well, we know that you're probably thinking to yourself, isn't safety just common sense? For the most part it is, but accidents still happen every day. In 1 year's time, nearly 300 people are killed in mishaps involving ladders, while more than 175,000 sustain ladder-related injuries. To employers, that equates to an average of 10 weeks in lost work time, about $6,500 in workers' compensation, plus health rehabilitation and training costs, which can multiply that cost by 4. To you, it means pain and suffering that quite simply could have been avoided. As you know, you are important to the people in your life, your family, friends, and co-workers. So it's important that you learn ladder safety and apply the procedures we are about to show you. Let's begin by introducing you to the meaning of climb. Starting with the letter C, we learn to choose it right. Always have the right ladder for the job. The letter L stands for look closely. Inspect your ladder for any damage or missing parts. I recommends that you ensure safe, stable ladder setup. M means that you should move slowly and carefully as you ascend and descend the ladder, always having 3 points of contact on the ladder at all times. And finally, B asks you to become a safety expert, not a statistic. Now that you know the components making up the Climb Academy, let's take you to the starting gate of ladder safety by exploring the rules. It is always a safe bet to choose the right ladder. There are 2 categories of climbing equipment: self-supporting and non-self-supporting. Self-supporting equipment includes step ladders, step stands, platform ladders, tripod ladders, rolling warehouse ladders, and sturdy multi-size scaffolds. Also included in this group are twin-front trestle ladders, seen here with non-self-supporting ladders, which include single and extension ladders. Since step and extension ladders are the most commonly used, they will be our focus in this safety presentation. It may seem so simple, yet so much goes into choosing the right ladder. Here at Louisville's Churchill Downs, the eyes of the world are on this property during the Kentucky Derby every May, but the maintenance is continuous throughout the year. How do they know which ladder is right for the job? Well, they have to take into account the 4 factors in choosing the right ladder for the job, which are the style of ladder, the load rating, the height of the ladder, and the ladder's material. The type of ladder you choose depends upon your environment and your accessibility to the job. You should survey the site, know how you are going to use the ladder, and which tools and equipment you may need while on it. Next, you must consider the load rating, which you can find on every ladder's label. ANSI has created 5 load ratings, which are Type 1AA at 375 pounds, Type 1A at 300 pounds, Type 1 at 250 pounds, Type 2 at 225 pounds, and Type 3 at 200 pounds. To determine the proper load rating, calculate your weight plus the weight of the tools or materials that will be on the ladder with you, which needs to be less than the rated load on the ladder. Here, you are seeing an example of a Type 1AA ladder user, factoring in his weight, equipment, and materials. You can see why he needs a heavier ladder. Now, here is your typical Type 3 user. Her load rating is the lightest and ideal for most homeowner applications. Next up to bat is ladder height, which is another important consideration. To help you with that, we are at the manufacturing home of the Louisville Slugger, renowned for their world-famous baseball bats. Some people don't know this, but you should never climb, sit, or stand on or above the top 2 steps of a stepladder, nor the top 3 rungs of an extension ladder. If you do, you are greatly increasing your chances of falling, because these ladders are not designed to hold your weight at these levels. The extra ladder length is only there to provide you with support. When choosing the length of your ladder, consider your own height, the height of the task, and the effective working length of the ladder. And don't forget the safety of your spotter, who should be wearing a hard hat, holding the ladder with both hands, and bracing it with his feet. The spotter should never look up in the event that an injury can occur if tools are accidentally dropped from above. Getting back to ladder height, if you are using a 6-foot step ladder, the ladder is really designed only to handle the maximum standing height of approximately 4 feet. Again, remember to read the label where this is clearly stated. It is a good idea to bring several ladder sizes and styles to the work site to ensure that you are not tempted to overreach or climb higher than you should. When it comes to ladder material, you should consider weight and electrical conductivity. Aluminum ladders are the lightest, but are highly conductive and should never be used near electrical hazards. If you need to work with or near an electrical source, or even with electrical power tools, choose a clean, dry fiberglass ladder, which will significantly reduce your risk, or a wood ladder. And remember, they can become conductive if not completely clean and dry. So if you want to score big and make it home safely, just remember to choose it right. Full steam ahead. The Belle of Louisville is now being renovated for its summer season. They are inspecting the world's oldest steamboat before the boat can be put into service, which brings us to our next lesson in the Climb Academy. The letter L, which means look closely, inspect your ladder for any damage or missing parts. Although highly durable, ladders can be damaged. For example, in transit, or if they have been stored in an unsafe area for a period of time. Now, exposure to chemicals or excessive heat can also affect the integrity of a ladder. When you are inspecting your ladder, be thorough from top to bottom. Make sure that nothing is bent out of shape and that there are no missing, damaged, or loose parts. Check the rails for warps or cracks, and check your rungs for bends, defects, or loose rail connections. Look over the feet to ensure that they are not broken or malfunctioning, and that all of the slip-resistant pads are secure. Extension ladders require a little extra attention. You need to test the rope and pulley and check the rope for fraying to be sure that it operates smoothly. If you think that this is overkill, keep in mind that careless inspection and using defective ropes and pulleys can result in injury. The rung locks should be working smoothly, and the rungs of the ladder should be clean and free of oil, grease, or paint. If you find a defect, such as this loose foot pad, then your ladder does not pass inspection and it is time to tag it for repair or disposal. Whatever you do, don't use it. Step ladder inspection is just as important. Make sure you take a thorough look at the steps and the rails to ensure they are free of damage, as well as the spreader brace. Take a good look at those labels and make sure the ladder is right for the job. And be sure to check the feet to guarantee you have a solid, slip-resistant foundation. And if you inspect everything as you should, in conjunction with the safety standards set forth by OSHA, ANSI, and the CSA, you will make your workplace or home safer and more injury-free. Back at Louisville Ladder, our team is thoroughly trained to teach you about the I in climb. To ensure a safe, stable ladder setup, we're going to have the people who make the ladder show you how it's done. When you're transporting tall step ladders and extension ladders, 2 people should carry them in tandem, as seen here. If you must carry a ladder solo, lift the front end a little higher than the back end, and remember, never carry any ladder in a vertical or upright position. If it's an extension ladder, make sure that the fly section is retracted. Now, the setup for extension ladders has its own unique set of rules. First, to erect a ladder, you must block the feet of the ladder against a fixed object to prevent the bottom from sliding out. Next, you need to walk the ladder to an upright position. If you raise the fly section, check to see that the rung locks are fully engaged over the base rungs. An extension ladder should always have at least 3 feet extending upon the roof or working surface. According to OSHA and ANSI, extension ladders need to lean on a solid surface at a 75-degree angle for maximum stability. If your ladder is more than a 75-degree angle, you run the risk of tipping backwards. If your ladder is less than the 75-degree angle, you run the risk of your ladder slipping out from under you and causing you injury. Here you are seeing an example of a good 75-degree angle setup that will greatly reduce your risk of a dangerous situation. Look at your rung locks and make sure they are fully engaged over the base rung. And remember, never reposition, extend, or retract the fly section of an extension ladder from above. Another safety method is anchoring the ladder with tie-downs. To fully stabilize the ladder, secure the lower portion with the tie-downs before climbing, and be sure that the fly and base sections are secured by engaging the quick latch. If your ladder is against a pole, use the pole attachment to brace yourself. When you are working on a cable hooks should be used and are mounted on the top of the ladder. The floor or ground under your ladder should always be on a firm, level surface. If it isn't, you must find a safe way to level your ladder, such as with the use of ladder levelers, as seen here. So whether you are working on cables, against poles, or any number of awkward or hard-to-reach projects, there are many accessories available, such as ladder standoffs, cable hooks, pole grips, ladder tie-downs, and manual ladder levelers to maximize your accessibility and safety. When it comes to a stable ladder setup, you need to check out the floor or ground immediately surrounding your ladder to make sure that it is free of clutter, so the foot of your ladder doesn't slip. Make sure that any doors nearby are locked or blocked so they cannot open into your ladder. Look above to make sure you are safe from overhead wires or obstructions. If your ladder is being set up in a traffic lane, such as this loading dock area of Louisville Ladder, secure the area with barriers so that no one walks or drives their equipment near your ladder. Moving on, the M in climb dictates that you move slowly and carefully, always keeping 3 points of contact when using your ladder. Whether climbing up or down, always keep 2 feet and 1 hand or 2 hands and 1 foot touching the ladder at all times. Also, keep in mind that it's a good idea to wear clean, slip-resistant, heavy-soled shoes to avoid foot fatigue. And remember, use 3 points of contact for maximum stability. A point of contact can include hands, feet, and other parts of your body. Once you have reached your work level, make sure the middle of your body is always centered within the 2 ladder rails. Maintain proper balance. When using the ladder to access a roof or other elevated surface, proper technique is important. Make sure that you have 3 feet of ladder extending above the elevated surface for support while climbing on and off the ladder. And now we have reached the B in climb. Become a safety expert, not a statistic. Whether you're working in industry or at home, we want your safety to be a sure thing. And it's our hope that the Climb Academy has served you well in helping you to remember your own personal ladder safety. So again, we ask you to remember the following key points when you are choosing, setting up, and using any kind of ladder. C. Choose it right. Always have the right ladder for the job. L. Look closely. Inspect your ladder for any damage or missing parts. I. Ensure a safe, stable ladder setup. M. Move slowly and carefully as you ascend and descend the ladder, always having 3 points of contact on the ladder at all times. And finally, B. Become a safety expert and not a statistic. And remember, you can always call on Louisville Ladder with any questions at 1-800-666-2811 or visit our website at www.louisvilleladder.com. We are here for your safety.